Today I'm doing a shootout and a quick comparison of the Neural DSP Soldano and the Amplitude 5 Soldano. Let's go! Hey, hope you're doing well. Soldano, or the SLO 100, who doesn't want one? Hopefully one day I can cross that off my bucket list, but for now, I'm sticking with plugins because they're pretty pricey and these things are super affordable and actually sound really good. But which one sounds better? Which do you prefer? That's hopefully gonna be the answer that I'm gonna give you today. The Neural DSP Soldano, I only got it a couple of weeks ago. It's really great. You can trial it for a couple of weeks and then I think it cost me £150, which was like 200 Australian dollars, so it's not too bad. Amplitude 5, of course, have an SLO 100, or they're calling it the SLD 100. I don't have the full version of Amplitude 5. I had Amplitude 4 and I just downloaded the new software and I haven't upgraded it because I don't really use it anymore, but I do have a Soldano in there. I don't remember if I paid for that or not. So the Neural DSP Soldano, when you load it up, more or less, lucky number 7 is where we load up. The depth is at 5 and the overall master volume of the preamp is down at 3 there. Now the difference mainly that you're going to see is that there is no depth knob on the Amplitude version. I don't know why that is, but it is. I know some of the amps that you load up in here you can press and switch them and you can look at the back and access other things, but this one doesn't seem to have it in there. Cool thing about the Neural DSP one as well, if you click, or right click I should say, you can change the color of the skin. Purple's cool. And it gives you the option for the snake one as well. Let's keep it on snake for now, because why not? So apart from the amp head, both companies give you different options for cabinet simulation, but they're obviously going to be different. So what I've done here today is I've loaded into this Fenr IR, which was a free download from, I think, Aurora DSP. I'll put a link down the bottom for you. And I've loaded one of my own impulse responses, which is available in my Gig Ready pack. It's based on a Mesa cabinet. It's a blend of a 57 and a condenser. For a couple of them as well, I've kept it fair and I've loaded up the Amplitude and I use this overdrive in front of it. Any reverbs and delays that you hear has been added in as a send, so it's the same on both. All right, here's the shootout. hopefully you could see on both heads there, I tried to keep the settings as close as possible. The only difference obviously being that there is no depth switch on the Amplitude version of this head, and they are so different, or SLO different. I think they both still sound good, but end of the day, yeah, they're different. So just real quick, what I'll do is I'll turn off my impulse response that's in here. I'll turn back on just the cabinet in both, so we can hear how they load up. This is the settings just here. I've got no overdrive beforehand, just the amp into the cabinet with a little bit of reverb. So this is gonna be the cabinet that's in the SLO, so this is it. It is pretty much a Soldano cabinet as well. Whereas the Amplitude version, I've got a Brit V2. Now to match that, like I said, I don't have the full version, so I can't buy any others, and I'm not gonna buy any others. But this is just an Amplitude one that comes, I think, more or less stock in the Amplitude. The Neural DSP first. And the Amplitude. So I hope you can see there that those settings are exactly the same, and that is night and day. They are two very, very different sounding plugins. Like I said, they're still both good, but they're just so different. I reckon if you found a better cabinet, like we did with my impulse response, then they do sound a little bit closer. So let's just go back to the Neural DSP and we'll see just how much of a difference this depth control makes. So it definitely thins it out and makes it a little bit more similar to the Amplitude one. Actually, I'm curious. Let's load my impulse response again. Turn this off, turn this off. All right, so depth control all the way down now. A bit quieter, so I'll bring that back up. Cool. Wow, that's definitely closer. So the cabinet in the Amplitude software compared to the one in the Neural DSP is just completely different and doesn't sound the same even a little bit. However, with my impulse response in there, it sounds a lot closer with this depth control brought all the way down. Now I reckon that's what's lacking really in the Amplitude one. It needs the depth control. It just adds so much more body to it. And with this one, so in here you can get in and really sculpt that. You can change your microphones on each speaker there, make it sound completely different. Distance, level, panning, whether it's active or not. You can change the phase, which is really odd. It's almost like the middle completely disappears and you do get this 100% hard left right, but it hits your head real strange. If you have one, check it, like have a go of it. It's really weird. I would love to show you right now, but I'm using a mono track here and it will not split correctly. I'm not going to go too in depth here. I just wanted to show you guys a quick A/B comparison of how this sounds going through the same cabinet with the same parameters, same settings. And like I said, they do sound very, very different. But if you want to use this plugin on its own without any other added software, this thing sounds absolutely amazing. I was blown away. I've really put off trying this neural stuff because I was like, can't be that good. But I'm genuinely blown away. It feels tubey, it feels real, it feels good. comes with the overdrives in front as well, which sound really, really good. Let's turn them on here. It's got its little EQ in this middle section there, so you can do it as a standalone thing. And reverbs and delays at the end as well. They're good. Now personally, I like to use my reverbs and delays as a send. I don't use them there, so it's kind of pointless for me. But end of the day, it feels and plays so, so good. I cannot express enough just how good this plugin is. The Amplitude stuff is good. I like the sound of some of the heads. The cabinets I think are kind of here and there. If you pay for some better cabinets, I reckon you could probably get something sounding really, really good. But for me, playability and feel is different. It doesn't feel like a real amp. It feels like I'm playing into a plugin. And if anyone's played into a plugin, you'll know what I'm talking about. It feels not like an amp. That's the only way I can describe the Amplitude one. Whereas the Neural plugin, I was straight up blown away. Could not believe how well it played. It's amazing. So that's it for today. I clearly have my pick. I'm not even going to pretend. The Neural DSP Soldano is genuinely amazing, and I have no doubt you're going to hear it on my next single. Thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned. See you next time.